30a, towards the bottom. All these different cases of wine, diluted, not diluted. The snake's gonna drink from it, not gonna drink from it. So Amar Ravashi, V'Tamer of Masharsha, either Ravashi, some say Masharsha, Pirukala Sakand, like you're giving all these answers when your life is at stake, basically, the danger here. Like, I don't care that a snake, drink from it, not drink from it. If there's a chance that it's going to drink from it, then you have to stay away because it's considered a sakana. So all these answers, I saw it happen, I saw it didn't happen. According to this opinion, it doesn't matter. If there's a chance it's going to drink from it, then that is a danger. Amar Rava, halacha is yayin mazuk, diluted wine. Yesh bo mishum gilui, there is a worry of venom. V'yesh bo mishum yayin nesach, and there's also a worry that they used and they poured it for their idol worship. Yayin mevoshal, cooked wine, ein bo mishum gilui, there's no concern that it's that a venom. The ein bo mishum yayin nesach, and there's also no concern of yayin nesach that they used this wine, poured it for their idol worship, for their idols. Shamei de Rav Chilkiah bar Tuvia, the servant of Rav Chilkiah bar Tuvia, he left a certain flask, a bottle, a jug of water uncovered. The Habeinaim Gaba, and he was sleeping right next to it. Right, he had a hot summer day, and he's taking his afternoon nap, and his bottle of water is right there, and he didn't put the cover. Also, the guy with the Rav Chilkiah bar Tuvia, so he went there. Chilkiah bar Tuvia said, "Okay, I don't know what happened. I fell asleep now. What's the halacha? There's an open bottle of water next to me. What should I do? What's the halacha? Amrle hare amru, emas yashan alayim." The snakes have a fear of the person sleeping next to it. If you're sleeping next to your water, that invokes fear in the snakes, and you got nothing to worry about. The honey merely be yamama, but that's only in the daytime. In the daytime when they come, then they're scared. But at nighttime, sounds like even if you're sleeping there, then they're not scared. Maybe they know that it's hard to wake up in the nighttime. Maybe they sense it. I don't know. So, Velohi. So that's what some say. But he said it's not true. Velohi, lo shna b'yamama, velo shna b'leila, emas yashan alehen, lo amrina. We don't say that the fear of the sleeper is upon them, and therefore whether you're sleeping next to it in the daytime, it's still going to be a concern, and you should not drink it. Rav lo yishasi mibei arama. So Rav would not drink water, wine, water. He wouldn't drink water from the Aramean home, from the house of an Aramean. Amar lo zehira begilu. They're not careful with their uncovered drinks. However, mibei armalta, but from the house of a widow, he would drink shasi. Why? Amar sircha de gavra nikita. She keeps the customs of her husband. So if he was strict about it, she's strict about it. Shmuel, though, lo shasimaya mibei armalta, he would not drink water from the house of the Aramean, of the house of the widow. Sorry, from widow's house. Why? Amar leis la a masa de gavra. She doesn't have any more the fear of her husband. Maybe he was just his own stringency. That's what his rabbi told him. She's more lenient about it. She doesn't cover her water. But he would drink from the house, the water from the Aramean house. Why? But they're not strict about covering their water, but they are strict about cleanliness, the hygiene, and therefore I don't have to be worried that maybe they have water lying around with venom inside. They're very strict about that. That would probably apply nowadays. Similarly, also, most people don't have icky water lying around, right? So, some have the version that Rav didn't drink water from the Aramean home, but he would drink from the house of the widow, and Shmuel Shasi Maya lo mibei arama, below mibei armalta. And some say that Shmuel wouldn't drink from either person's house, not from the Aramean or not from the widow. Meaning this version holds that Shmuel did not hold with this hygiene idea. He wouldn't drink from the Aramean's home. Omer Bishul ben Levi. Shalosh Yeno, saying there are three kinds of wine, but Ein B'hem Mishum Gilui, and they don't have a problem of being uncovered. We're not worried. The Eluhain, three kinds: Chad Mar Masok, Chad sharp, Mar bitter, Masok sweet. Okay, Chad. What other kind is there? What other kind is there? I guess regular. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is a Rabbi Weinstein question. So he's in the wine business. So, or he's hoping to be in the wine business. So, the Eluhain, Chad, Mar, and Masok. Okay, so what's Chad? What's sharp? Tila Charifa. So, Tila Charifa. It's this very strong wine, and its taste is not good. It's more like vinegary, and because of this, the snake does not drink it. Tila Charifa, the Mitzri Zike, it's so strong it could break through the flasks. It's a really sharp wine, and so the snakes stay away from that. Mar, bitter wine, is Yarnica. So Yarnica, it's very bad and bitter. Yeah. I know this from the word like yarok. Greenish like a color. That's not good. Yeah, I don't know. Matok, what a sweet wine. Julia. Matok is Julia. It's sweet because of the sun. And it's very ripe. It sounds like it's good grapes. Once the grapes are so sweet, they don't make good wine. Yeah, but I'm sorry. Once they're so sweet, then that's not good wine. So you ask, what's the other wine? Regular wine. It's not this. It's not so sharp. It's not so bitter. It's not so meaning. These are three forms of not good wine. However, regular wine, hopefully the one you bring to your hosts, or hopefully the one your guests bring to you, is going to be wine that is drinkable. Okay, so that was that opinion. Now, Rav Chama Masni Li'ilave. So Rav Chama taught it sort of not in a negative way, but more in a positive way. That these three are more positive. Chad is the sharp wine is chamar. It's a good wine. It has chamar upilpolen. It's mixed together with beer and pepper. Wine and peppers. Mar, bitter wine, is apastintin. So ulshana. What? Abyssal. Exactly. Abyssal. I don't know what that is. So abyssal. Rashi says ulshana. Ulshana. I don't know. Something. Yeah. Matok is, and sweet wine is may barg. It's a very good wine, and barg is it's a Persian way of saying good. And therefore, these snakes won't drink this wine either. So it sounds like the three most sour wines they won't touch, and the three best wines they won't touch. So everything in the middle, I guess. Yeah. Amr Mishum Ben Lakish. So Karina Ein Bo Mishum Gilui. A Karina, it's like a sweet drink. A sweet drink. Yeah, a Karina. Chalia Mato. It's some kind of Chalia Mato. Yeah. The same sounds like that same thing that we had before. The sweetness to it. Okay. So Ein Bo Mishum Gilui. So my Karina. What's Karina? I'm Rabbi Bo. Chamra Chalia. This is that wine. That's sweet. That's the Asya comes from Asya. However, in its place in Asya itself, you do have to be concerned that it's that if it's left uncovered, the venom might get to it. My taima chamar medina, because that is the drink of the land. That's what they drink, and therefore the snakes get to it. Amarava hayi chamra de akrim atlata yomi yeshva mishum gilui. So the wine that ferments up to 3 days, yeshbo mishum gilui, it has a problem of it being left uncovered. Umishum yayin nesach, turning the page, and of yayin nesach also. Mikanda elach eno mishum gilui, mishum yayin nesach. After that, after 3 days of fermenting, so then, right, fermenting, right? No, it's not fermenting. It gets vinegary. It gets sour. Sorry. So when it gets sour, and it gets it gets very vinegary. So so up to 3 days of its vinegary, it still has a problem, meaning it's still somewhat normal wine, it's just starting to go bad. After that, though, there's no problem of being uncovered and no problem of them using it for idols, because now it's really vinegary and it's really, really ruined, and therefore they don't pour it for their idols, and the snakes don't get to it. Even after 3 days of it going bad, we're still worried. Sometimes the snake gets to it, even though it's already sour, it'll still get to it, and therefore you have to be worried. Tana Rabbanon yain toses. This is the fermenting wine. You wine that ferments. So now we're going back to the beginning of the process. Beginning of the process, the very beginning of the process, there's no problem of it being left uncovered. So how much is the fermenting process where there's no problem of it being uncovered? So that's in its very, very early stages of the wine. That's going to be shlosha yom in the first 3 days. So shlosha yom. Now, hishcholim ein bo mishum gilu. If it's oh, there's the crest again. I knew it. It's so funny. Every time I get stuck on this word. Yeah, the crest. So funny. Yeah, every time. If it has the crest, it doesn't have it's no problem being uncovered. Ubnei Gola and the people in the exile, Nagu behen Isser, they would still be stringent with it. Nagu behen Isser. Below Amron Ella, the Lesbu, below Amron Ella, the Lesbu Chala. And they would say that what? They would say that only if it doesn't have any of the crest. No, sorry, it's only if it doesn't have this sweetness to it, the vinegar. They would be stringent and still not drink it left uncovered. However, that's only if it doesn't have vinegar. Aval isbu chala, if it has vinegar, so then nigri behu. So then the snake gets scared from it. It doesn't. It retracts from drinking it. It refrains from drinking it. Kutach habavli, some kind of what? Yeah, kutach. Here you go. Kutach habavli is very non-appetizing, very strong, vinegary dish that sounded the Babylonians would make, eat. I don't know, give to the Jews. Kutach habavli. So kutach habavli ema bishum gilu. There is no problem of being left uncovered because the snake is not going to get there. It's very vinegary, very gross. Ubnei Gola, but people in the exile, it's still Naguba Isser. They were still worried about it. Amar of Manshi, Rav Manshi said, if it had like indentation, had holes in it, then you should be worried because maybe a snake got to it. Amar of Chiyabar Ashi, Amar Shmuel, May tif ein b'mishum gilus. Sounds like you put a vessel under the wine and drip, 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 drip. So that there's no problem because it keeps dripping. And the one drop after the next, the snake carries it and runs away. So Amr of Ashi v'hu da'avid tif lahade tiftif. But it's only if it goes one after another, drop, like the rain. But if it's one every 20 minutes or whatever, sporadically that doesn't count, and therefore you have to be worried. Now Amr of Chiyabar Ashi Amr Shmuel pita eina. When you take the fig off the tree, there's a small opening that's created off this. So that opening. Do you have to be worried or not worried? Ein bo mishum gilu. There you don't have to be worried that a snake got there. Kiman ki hayitana. Like the following Tana. Did Tanya Rabbi Eliezer Omerochel Adam Anavim B'Teinim B'Layla. The Eino Choshesh. You're allowed to eat your grapes and your figs at nighttime. The Eino Choshesh, and you don't have to worry. Sounds like and you don't have to worry that a snake got to them. The Eino Choshesh Mishum. Why not? Mishum Shinamar Shomer Pesayim Hashem, that Hashem is going to protect the people. That this verse is often used in the topic of how much caution does one have to take. So what's considered normal? What's considered not normal? Are you obligated to guard yourself more than societal norms or not? This verse is often used that there has to be a level of Hashem's going to protect me when it's a normal situation. So in this case, this falls into that category, and therefore you don't have to go crazy and be over concerned. That sounds like not trusting in Hashem in a certain way. Rather, you can eat the figs and you can eat the grapes and no problem. Amr of Safra Mishum Rav Yeshua de Roma. Rav Safra said the name of Rav Yeshua de Roma. Shloshim Ara. There are three kinds of venom. So shell bacher of a young snake, it's shoikeya. The venom goes to the bottom of the barrel, the bottom of the cup. Shell beinani, if it's a middle-aged snake, then it's mefafeya. The venom is somewhere in the middle. The shell zakein, but an old snake, saf, it floats at the top. Right. Right now we understand that's because that the older snake doesn't have so much strength, and therefore its venom is going to represent that, and it's not going to be able to go to the bottom. If it goes to the bottom, it shows that the snake is much stronger, has more strength. So, lememra, is that to say the kama the kashish, the older the snake is, the weaker it gets. Kashish chele, its strength is weakened. Is that really true? The Hatanya, but the Brisa says there are three creatures. When they get older, their strength increases. Shlosha kolzman shemaskinin. Unfortunately, one of them, it doesn't sound to be a person. Gvura mitosefes bahen. What are these three animals? Elohain, dog, a fish. As it gets older, its strength increases. Nachash, a snake. As it gets older, its strength increases. The chazer and a pig. So koach osufihu de kamosif. So what does it mean? Why does the older snake venom only go to the top and not to the bottom? It can't, because it's weak, because we say that it gets stronger as it gets older. So we say zihare kalish. We say that it's even though it gets stronger, but its venom gets weaker. Sounds like the venom getting weaker is not a reflection of the strength or weakness of the snake. Because even though the snake is stronger as it gets older, however, the venom is still going to be weaker. So, shel bacher sheikeya, a young snake's venom goes to the bottom. So, it's a nice observation, but lamai hilchasa. For what halacha are you teaching me that? The Tanya, as it says in the Brisa, chavis shenis gala. You have a barrel which fulfills the criteria of something which you should not drink the next day. It's left overnight uncovered. Afal pisha shasamimena tisha. 9 people drank from it. Nothing happened to them. Doesn't matter. Below mesa, they didn't die. Lo yishamenu asiri. The 10th person should still refrain from it, because it sounds like maybe the venom's at the bottom. Story happened. 9 people drank and nothing happened. 10th person drank and died. Yeah, that's because the venom was at the bottom. So number 10 got the last licks and then died. So v'chein avatiach, similarly a watermelon, shenizgalsa, even though it was revealed and it was cut open. Even though 9 people ate from it and they did not die, a 10th person should not eat from it. The story happened. 9 people ate from it. They didn't die. Number 10 came. He took the bite and he died. It sounds like also the venom in the watermelon goes also much more inside towards the bottom, so to speak, towards the inner part of the watermelon. Amar Yomi, they had Amar Yomi zeu sheikei. That's because the venom, it sunk in. It sunk in, and therefore number 10 got to the venom. And he drank it. He ate it. He ate the part that had the venom inside. Okay, that's all wine. Now water. What do you do? What do you do with water that is that was left revealed, and we're worried for the venom? Yeah. So what do you do? So don't pour it out now in a public domain. Velo yarbitz bahan esabayis. Don't pour it onto your house like it's dirt houses to level it out, to smooth it out. Velo yigabel bahan esatit. And don't go and make clay with it. Velo yashke mehen. And don't give it to your lo behem toe. Below behemas chavero, not to your animal and not to your friend's animal. Below yirchatz behen, and don't wash your face, your hands, or your legs. Panov yadav v'raglov. Acherim omrim. Not only those places, but makom sheish sirt, any place that has an opening on your body, asr. But ain sirta mutter, no opening, then it's permitted. Now, why can't you dump it into a public domain?
You can't have it.
No, why not? So Rashi says, essentially, Rashi says that maybe a person's going to go barefoot, and he's going to, it's going to go between his toes, and a little bit of venom between the toes can make a hole in the skin, and therefore there's no healing for that. So that's by the public domain. Don't pour it into your house because it's going to hit the dirt and it's going to rise. Don't pour it into so that the dirt shouldn't rise. Sounds like probably the same thing. The same thing that a person's going to step on it, and therefore it might go into their skin. Yeah. Okay. Now we just had two opinions on your body, your face, your hands, or your legs. Acherim said a place that has an opening. So says the Gemara, at first glance they're very similar. Sounds like makom sheyesh sir to asr, but ain sir to mutter. If there's no opening, then it's mutter. Sounds like hainu tanakama. Sounds like the tanakama, because let's think about it, the face has openings, and so I was bothered by this. Your hand and your feet don't have openings like your face does. Your face has the holes, your ears and your nose and your mouth. But Rashi says is that your hands and your feet, they have openings. It's, whether it's between your fingers maybe, or between your toes. Maybe he means also a person often has commonly has, I don't know, to leave the hand and foot as is. So where's a snake venom going to get into? Between your toes, between your fingers, and therefore what? That's like any other part of the body. There's no opening there. Under your nail, doesn't sound like it. It sounds like the hands and the feet, they often have scratches on them. They often have a small little scrape, a small little bruise, a small little, So it's those little tiny things that's what we're worried about. Hands and feet, more than other parts of the body, are going to have some kind of little cracks on them. So, okay, so it's the same opinion. Basically, you have cracks, stay away. No cracks, don't stay away. So no, ikebeinayu gav hayad vegav haregel. The back of the hand and the back of the foot, viromane da'api, and your cheekbones. So that would be a difference between them. That according to acherim, that's going to be permitted because there's no cracks there. There's no cracks there. However, according to the first opinion, it's going to be prohibited because it's still considered part of your face. Your cheekbones are your face, and your hands and your feet, doesn't matter where they are. Hands and feet, you can't put the venom there. You can't pour the venom on those. And the other opinion held only where there's cracks. So only going to be in between your fingers, in between your toes, but the head of the finger, the back of the hand, or the back of the foot is going to be fine. Amar Mar lo yashka lo yashka lo behem tov lo behemas chaver. You can't give it to your animal or your friend's animal. But it says in the Brisa you could give it to your own animal. What's the difference? Kitanya hi l'shunra. That's talking about when you have a cat, because cats eat snakes. So ihachi dechavre nami. So give it to your friend's cat also. No, dechavre kachish. Your friend's animal is going to get weaker. Well, if that's what happens, didinami kachish. Your animal is also going to get weaker. So hadar bari. No, but your animal might get stronger. It'll heal after it gets weaker. Okay, dechavre nami hadar bari. So then your friend's animal is also going to get, the cat's going to get stronger after it gets weaker. No, but the difference is your friend might want to sell the cat in between when it got weaker before it got stronger and lose that money. You can't pour the water to your friend's cat because it's going to get weaker. And in the interim, he might sell it and therefore that's going to cause a loss of money. Amar Rav Asi, Amar Rav Yochanan, Mishum Rav Yehuda ben Beseira, Shlosha Yenosein, three kinds of wines, meaning Yayin Nesech, so prohibited wines. Yayin Nesech, the wine that's used for their idols, is Asr Behana, no benefit whatsoever from it. Umetame Tuma Chamura Bechizayis. It's Metame Tuma Chamura, meaning Tuma Chamura, even when you carry it, Tumas Masa, as opposed to other liquids don't have that usually. Tumas Masa, the Ohel, and it's Metame Tumas Ohel, like a dead person. And we'll see a proof for that on Lamed Beis. But so it's very strict, Yain Esmin. They made it extremely strict. So it has a very stringent Tuma, and only with a Kizayis, it can Metame, a small amount. Stam Yenam, regular wine, Asr Behana, it's prohibited from getting benefit from it. However, Umetame Tumas Mashkin, it's like in other liquids that it's only will impurify food or drink, not an ohel, like we said, or masa by carrying it. And it's only with a revius, not a kazayis, but a revius of a liquid. Now, so that's the second kind of wine, yain nesech, tam yain. Now, what about hamafkid yenu eitzel? You deposited your wine by a idol worshiper, asr b'shtiya u'mutar behana. If you deposit your wine by an idol worshiper, you cannot drink from it. However, you're allowed to use it. You're allowed to get benefit from it. But the Mishnah says, when you deposit your fruits to an idol worshiper, so they're like the fruits of an idol worshiper for shvius and meiser, and you have to retake off tithes from them because you're worried that the idol worshiper swapped your fruits with his fruit, and therefore you're going to have to, when you get them back from him, after you come back from your trip, and you go get them back, you go and they're returned to you, then you are going to have to take off tithes again. So too here. Sounds like over here also you should be worried that he swapped the wine. So if that's true, why should you get any benefit from it? You should not be able to get any benefit from it. Says the Gemara, no, you can get benefit. Why? He set aside a special corner for you, Rashi adds in, and gave you the keys. Or he made a seal, meaning he sealed off that area, or he locked it up. Basically, he can't get to it. Well, if that's true, so what are you worried about? You just drink from it afterward. Why is it permitted to be benefited from, but it's prohibited to be drunk from? If it's locked up, it's locked up. So we say, he should allow you to drink from it. No. The Rabbi Yochanan, so he said, Rabbi Yochanan went to a place called Parah. I have a little parenthetical in my story. Amar, is there any teaching in this area from Bar Kapar? Apparently Bar Kapar lived in this place and died in this place. And Rabbi Yochanan came, wanted to know any teachings from him. Tanli Reb Tanchum, the Minpar of Tanchum from Minpar, said in a teaching of Bar Kapara, what was the teaching? They would deposit the wine by the idol worshiper, mutar b'shtiya. You're allowed to drink from it. If it's deposited by him, and it sounds like he gave you a seal or a key, whatever it is, you could drink from it. So now, parenthetically, Kari Aleha, he said upon this, the following verse, Makom Shipala 8, Sham Yeho. Literally the place where the tree falls, there it is. So what does that mean? Sham Yeho, there he is. He's dead. The person who is not alive anymore. Sham Yeho, no. Sham Yu Peirosa, there will be his fruits. Meaning, even after the Torah scholar dies, but his fruits are still there. His teachings are still remembered there, uniquely in his place. You'll find his fruits. You'll find his teachings. Okay, so now we have a kasha. He said you're allowed to drink from it. He and other opinions said you're not allowed to drink from it. So what's the answer? Amar Zera lo kasha. Ha Rabbi Eliezer ha Rabban. It just reflects two different opinions. What are the two opinions? The Tanya echad alokech v'echad asofer bias b'chatzero shel oved kochavim umaleyu yain. So what happened? The Brisa says one person who buys or who rents a house in the courtyard of a idol worshiper. So what happens? And he fills it up with wine. However, the Jew has the seal, it's sealed up, only the Jew has access to it, or it is locked up. So what's the halacha? Rabbi Eliezer Matir allows. That sounds like Bar Kapara. He allows you. If it's locked up, it's sealed up, so then full access. When you come back from your trip, drink away, make a l'chaim. The Chacham Osir, they said, no, you can't. You cannot drink from it. Now, Amar Rav Chia, Breder Rav Chia Bar Nachmani, Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Rav. So some say it's Rav Chia, the son of Rav Chia Bar Nachmani, in the name of Rav Chisda, in the name of Rav. Amrila, Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Rav Zeiri, Amrila. And some say it's Rav Chisda, in the name of Rav Zeiri. And some say Amrila, Amar Rav Chisda, Amrila Abba Bar Chama. And some say it was Rav Chisda, in the name of Abba Bar Chama, that Hachi Amar Zeiri. This is what Zeiri said, that the halacha is like Rabbi Eliezer. What we would assume to be the more logical approach probably is that if it's locked up and nobody could access it, so then it really is prohibited. It really is permitted, not only for benefit, but even for drinking.
It's pretty much what we do.
We'll seal it up.
Seal it up.
Rabbi Elazar. So now this is Rabbi Elazar, not Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Elazar. So Rabbi Elazar, Hakol mishtamer bechosem echad, chutz min hayayin, she'ein mishtamer bechosem echad. So Rabbi Elazar says everything is considered guarded with one seal, except for wine, which is not guarded with one seal. Okay. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, afilu yayin mishtamer bechosem echad. He says even wine is considered guarded with one seal. Sounds like they're arguing, Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yochanan. Says they're not arguing. Velo pligi. Hak Rabbi Eliezer and Hak Rabbanan. They're not arguing with each other. They're just reflecting two opinions like we just saw. The one that says it's guarded with one seal is Rabbi Eliezer. And the other one is that it's not guarded is the Rabbanan. Ike de Amri, some say Rabbi Elazar. Rabbi Elazar says, Akol mishtamer b'chosim b'tochosem. We'll see what that means in a second, but it says it's all guarded with a seal inside of a seal, chutz min hayayin, except for wine. That's not guarded with a seal inside of a seal. Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, it's even guarded, even with a seal inside of a seal. Says the Gemara, v'travayu kirabanan. They're both reflecting the opinion of the Rabbanan, who said with one seal is not enough. You have to be doubly sealed. So, what's the argument now? What do they are? They're arguing within the opinion of the rabbis. Does a seal inside of a seal work? What is that debate? Mar Savar Keep the Rabbi Eliezer b'chosem echad. One opinion held that the Rabbanan argued Rabbi Eliezer with one seal of al b'chosem b'tochosem sharu. If you have a seal inside of a seal, it's totally permitted. But Mar Savar, no. Afilu chosem b'tochosem asri. Even a seal inside of a seal, they're going to prohibit until you have like a real double seal. Now, what is a seal inside of a seal? So let's see. I don't know if I fully can picture this, but I guess maybe it's not so hard. What's a seal inside of a seal? Amar Rava, Agana apuma de chavisa. So you're taking the bowl and you're flipping it on the barrel. So that's called a seal inside of a seal. Why? Because the barrel's sealed and you place something over it. That's like a seal inside of a seal. I mean, the thing you're putting over it, you can just take it off. It sounds like. I mean, I don't know. Are you tying it on?
Basically, pasted the barrel start with them.
So it's a barrel. It's a
basin overturned on the mouth of the barrel.
Okay, a basin over, and now you seal it.
And then it's pasted onto the barrel, so it's
stuck
stuck to the barrel.
Oh, it is stuck to the barrel. Okay.
And then it's sealed.
The basin on top of the barrel.
Yeah. Or
how do you do that? I don't know.
By the mouth of the barrel. I mean, they could use clay.
So you have a barrel of wine, and then you put a clay basin on. You clayed on a basin on top, and then you sealed. What's the then you sealed? Where on top of the basin?
Yeah, the basin. So you can see that the basin.
Okay. And that's called a seal.
The basin itself is sealed to the barrel.
That's a seal inside of a seal. Okay. Mm-hmm. So agana apumi de chavisa, shrika v'chasima. So you put the basin on top of you shrika, you play it on top of the barrel. and then you seal it. And if you don't do that, then it's not good. Then it's gonna be prohibited from drinking. Okay. Or dikula u mehadek. Or you take this the palm tree basket, a basket, and it sounds like you do the same thing. No, you the barrel itself is already it's sealed up. Same thing. You put the basket over the over the barrel, you clay it on, and then you seal it up. Tikula umehadek, and you tighten it together. Have a chosem eto chosem. Lo mahadek lo. If you don't do it tightly, then not. Lo mahadek lo have chosem do chosem. If you don't do that, it's not considered a chosem. Betoch chosem. Now, one more node. Now you have your flask, bidiskaya. You have your flask, your leather flask full of wine, and it's inside of a diskayash, or it's inside of like a leather pouch. So chasimas piv lemata, if you go and you seal up the mouth from the bottom, I guess meaning inside the leather pouch. You on the inside you seal it up, right?
Facing down into the pouch. It is considered a seal within the seal.
So the mouth is facing downwards into the pouch. If the mouth is upward, I guess it's easier to take off. That's not considered a seal on top of inside a seal. However, the kayif pume legiv, if you take this I don't understand. If you kayif pume, you take the flask. Vitzayer v'chasim, what do you do with the flask here? You take the flask, and
if it's tied mouth is bent inside.
If the mouth is bent inside and then you seal it up, it sounds like he said like we do with ours. I guess the cork inside it's still, you bend it inside, meaning what? You put it inside the barrel.
I think you roll.
Oh, you roll it inside of itself.
Yeah, because these are leather pouches.
Yeah, he says that Rashi says like the way we do our wine flask, our oil flasks. After we tie it up, we put in he says you put in the mouth of the leather flask. After you tie it up, you put the mouth of the leather flask. Sounds like into it. And then you tie it again a second time. So that's also considered a seal inside of a seal. Okay, we'll stop here. Yeah.